Welcome back to the Macabre Maiden Metalcast, where we explore the shadows of rock, metal, and everything in between. I'm Ashen Rot.
And I'm Jen T, and today we're joined by an artist who's bringing raw alternative rock energy and powerful storytelling throughout Toronto and the Toronto region, Harley Olivia. Harley Olivia, thank you so much for joining us today. So glad to
Yeah,
have you.
thank you for having me.
Fan applause.
We were reading a little bit about you. We learned that you started your career as a flight attendant before diving full time into music. What was the turning point that made you decide it was time to take to music, or rather, like trade the skies for the stage?
Yeah, yeah, that's I it's funny. I feel like I probably had a million moments where I was like, I should probably stop doing this and go into music, but then I'd be like, but I'm going to Italy next weekend, so yay. Um,
There.
but yeah, it was hard to walk away from because I mean there are some great things about it. I know I kind of talk about the negative a lot because that ended up being the kind of focus, and I wrote a song about it and all that stuff. But um, yeah, I would say the main thing that really helped me was, honestly, like, during COVID, and I was not flying anymore. I gained a lot of clarity, and I started writing music with my partner, Siegfried, and, I think we came out of COVID with, like, 4 or 5 songs that we really, really, really loved, and I kinda realized that I wasn't gonna be able to promote them and do the whole tour thing and really go all in if I kind of had signed my soul away to this company, because they do kind of, own your soul, really. Like, they basically are like,
Yeah.
"If we need you, you have to fly." Like, nothing can be more important than, like, your duty to the airline. So, I obviously felt like my music was more important than their company. So, I had to make the choice, but it was hard for sure, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I used to work at TSA, so I'm not saying
Mm.
I completely empathize with you, but I did see a lot of very happy flight attendants and flight crew. So,
Well, it's
one,
it's funny that you say that because when we all got our call back to
Mhm.
to go back to the airline after COVID, everyone got their recalls. Um, all my friends were, like, ecstatic. They're like, "Thank God, we can't wait to go back to flying," and I just burst into tears and was like had to go on a walk.
Aw.
And I was like, "I don't know
Yeah.
what I'm doing with my life." So, that was kind of I that's probably the number one sign. If you react like that to getting your job back, you
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely deeply resonate with that for sure.
100%. That's kind of actually how we started our journey here
It's
too.
"Oh,
true.
yay."
Not to give too much context, or like
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
completely dox ourselves. Yeah.
yeah, completely knocked yourself. No, but yeah, just feeling like needing more, like there was more out there for you, and I 100% agree with you too that the period of the pandemic during
Mhm.
COVID did attribute to like a lot of clarity for a lot of people. It was
Yeah.
just great for a
Mhm.
lot of
Mhm.
introspection. What am I going to do next with my life, and personal growth. I took
Totally.
that opportunity in time to finish a second college degree and like completely change my
Wow.
trajectory once. So
Good for you.
um, yeah, no, so that's amazing that you guys were able to like turn that into something more positive with music, and
Mhm. I
start.
also
Hell yeah.
lost a bunch of weight because I wasn't eating plain food all the time. You're not supposed to eat that
So
every
good.
day. It's not good for you.
Shocker. Shocker. Who would have thought?
I
What's the deal
know.
with airline food?
Crazy.
God. Although I thought there are some pretty good snacks on a lot of airlines. Like I don't know, Alaska Airlines got
Oh, I
some of
know.
these
I used to
really
eat them all.
yeah, right? God. Alaska's got these little vegan pretzels that are like the most
Ooh,
delicious thing, and I've been on a hunt to find them. But they say, off topic, totally for just a second, that there's like a scientific thing, right? When you're up in the airplane versus down on the ground, like
Yes.
food tastes different.
This
And
is
so
true.
up there, I'm always ordering like Bloody Mary mix and getting these weird little pretzels. And down here, I'm like, that's disgusting. I feel like I'm high, literally and
Yeah, it
figuratively.
it affects your taste buds, the
Hmm.
pressurization, I believe it is, and, like, you're more
Yeah.
sensitive to salt or something, or they
Yeah.
put more salt in the food because your senses are dulled, I believe. So that's why it's worse for you because there's a lot of, like, additives to make it more flavorful, but, you're
interesting.
it's the same thing for me, like, in the air, I'm like, "Mm, couscous," and then down on the ground, I'm like, "Get that away from me. I do not need that in me."
Yeah, science.
Yeah.
We learned something today, guys. So not
Yeah,
only
you're
did you know
welcome.
that this was a metal cast, we're also talking science. So Cool. It's hot.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, speaking of neurodivergency, because we could go off on tangents forever. I know I could. I know you describe yourself as neurodivergent, which samesies on both sides here with Jen too. Yep.
Cool.
I know personally that identity can really kind of define who you are when you're making art. Do you see any sort of influence in your writing projects, performances, maybe like the way you connect with fans? Like what kind of sticks out for you as, being someone on the neurodivergent spectrum?
Well, it definitely affects my songwriting for sure.
Mhm.
I tend to write about the darker parts of life or the struggles that I have, and a lot of those struggles relate to being neurodivergent and this kind of just the daily annoyances and also good things about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think in talking about it, what I didn't expect, because at first I was a little bit anxious to like slap that name on myself, but I was really wanting community and I really wanted to um I mean, this was around the time that everyone was sort of diagnosing themselves on TikTok, but I really
Yes.
related to everybody, and I ended up going out and getting a real diagnosis. But even if I hadn't, like just the people online, the way that they described what they were going through made me feel like I wasn't alone. And so in singing about that and in writing about it, I find that I get my favorite messages from fans or listeners or people who are like, "Oh, I listened to this when I quit my job." And I'm like, "Oh my god, I know what you feel like." Or I had a girl recently reach out to me and she told me that she's um yeah, quit her job. It was a flight attendant as well to be a dancer. Like I had someone else who said that when they're anxious, they listen to Haunted. Like just like lots of like it's the fact that we're talking about mental health and we're kind of
Mm.
making a difference and we're helping each other and like what their experience of listening to it is now fueling me and making me feel good when you wouldn't think like that the artist needs that too, but I do and I love the little community that I've created of little fun indie people who are just like awesome and creative and yeah,
Mhm.
it's been really cool.
Nice. I love that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we definitely can resonate that with another community we're involved in. That's love
Ours.
them, love them.
Yours
Yeah,
is
right.
my
Our own little
secret.
community. No, my son is on the spectrum. He genius. I mean, he talks what's called Gestalt learning, which is very unique
Mm.
way. It's like Bumblebee from Transformers is the way he talks. And but from the outside in, people can be like, "That's a little weird." But then I see him and like how he can like the dude just picked up a ukulele that I got him and just started tuning it. I'm like,
That's
what?
crazy.
I'm like
He's
sitting here with the little tuner, and I'm like, okay, God, what do I remember from my music days? A B.
yeah,
No, and he's over there
Yeah,
just like boom. And so I'm
yeah.
like, okay,
So
okay, Slay.
that's
he's a
amazing.
smart kid.
And
Super
yes, and
analytical too.
yes, and Jen knows she's seen him play the kazoo like nobody's business. I mean, he's only like 6, so
Well, the
But
day that I
still,
visited, he was like,
that's crazy. That's so
right.
cool.
A lot of people don't even know how to play the kazoo, but yeah, I mean, it's like a superpower. That's what I tell people. It's like, you know, yeah,
super
they
cute.
we may think a little differently, but like, there's a superpower underneath it there, and that's 100% for sure. Just
Yeah.
better than the rest of the population. Duh.
100%.
Yeah, and I feel like with ADHD, like I can tap into that superpower, but it's unfortunately only on things that I want to do and care
That's
about.
exactly it. 100%. That's what my therapist says too. He's like,
Yeah.
man, you're so good at blank, but then you're terrible at blank. I'm
It's like
like,
I actually start to get, like, chest pains, and I feel like the walls are
"Mhm,
caving in, and I feel like I'm gonna panic when, like, I have to do something, like, that takes the same skills, but is just
yeah.
not for something that I care for, and I'm like,
Hmm.
"Come on, girl. Let's figure this out." But,
Oh, like,
yeah, it's hard.
can we just not do that right now? Can I
100%
just
agree.
get this done with?
Yeah.
Yep. That's also resonating with my
Very,
small
very
project
much.
going on this weekend. But yeah, no, I was
Yes.
gonna go back to community really quick too, and just like you were
Mhm,
talking
mhm.
about how people kind of like bounce the ideas off each other and the topics off each other. It's just validating at the end of the day to know that you're
Mhm.
not alone in what
Yeah.
you're experiencing. And I know
Totally.
we've addressed that a few times on the podcast, so
Oh,
it's
yeah.
yeah, I know it's great to be able to have that kind of community and those connections with people. So
Yeah, and, like,
Mhm.
the life I've chosen, like, A, being a flight attendant was very lonely 'cause, a lot of people don't know this, but like when you're flying, you have a different crew every time. So you might fly with your friend one day and then not see her for 2 years. You have different passengers, so you're never going to see the passengers again. You would go to different destinations, different aircraft. So it's like different, even gate. Like you're literally the only constant is you. And so it was very lonely. And then even the job of an independent artist, like of course I have my partner and we collaborate together and we play
Mhm.
with a drummer and it's all awesome. But I am definitely, the one applying for festivals, hunched over my laptop, right, rewriting my bio, like adjusting my website. I just took photos for a photo shoot. Like I'm,
Nice.
it's just me, so it can get lonely. So like,
Sure.
finding that community, if it's not going to be with like a band of a bunch of people, a bunch of musicians, make it the people that you're making the music for. That's kind of what I learned from all that, so that they can be the
Oh
people that
yeah,
I talk to.
Yeah, absolutely love that. And I feel like this is a great segue into the next
it is.
question. But so you've performed at big Canadian festivals like NXNE and Canadian Music Week. Was there any particular shows where you felt that this is where I truly belong? Like this is it.
Um, I mean, every festival has its own kind of vibe for sure. I honestly, I'd say Gustapalooza Music Festival is one of my favorite music festivals even to attend.
Mhm.
It's kind of grassroots, it's indie, but the community there, like we all feel like it's like summer camp.
Nice.
I've gotten really close with the people who put the festival on, and it's the same faces every year, plus more. Like it's growing. The festival is getting more and more bands every year, but it's just so like I don't even know how to explain it. You guys just gotta come. It's like there's a big
Well, shoot, you
bonfire.
got me.
Yeah, there's a big
I'm on
bonfire
my way.
on the Saturday night, and we all like get like so even if you weren't performing, you can go on like this little mini stage and just grab a guitar and play, and it's just everyone's a
Oh, that
musician, and
sounds
it's
good.
like yeah, it's just really cool.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It
Yeah,
does sound like a lot of. I'll bring my kazoo.
do it. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, I get I've been meaning to go to some fest. It's been a long time since like 2007 since I've gone to a festival. I was Project Revolution.
Oh wow.
Aging myself a hot minute. I don't know why. It just like I don't know. It didn't appeal to me for the longest time, and now I'm like, oh, I'm gonna travel to New York to go to a concert. I haven't done that in years. I don't know.
Some
It's funny how
festivals
music works.
can be overwhelming though. Like this one I really like because it's kind of untouched by like big corporations and stuff. It's literally like food
Mhm.
trucks and like vendors that are
Yes.
small businesses. So
Love
it's
that.
like really,
Mhm.
really like you get to learn the names of the people who are serving you coffee and like they come to your show and it's just like really nice.
Hell
But
yeah.
yeah, I would say big festivals sometimes it can be,
Yeah.
paying
They
20
can.
bucks for a glass of wine or a beer and you're like, why?
Why yet I'm still purchasing it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I know. Oh, damn.
Oh man, that's yeah. The only time I'll ever be okay with that, there was this one at this last show I went to, and there were these like I don't carne asada nachos, and they were
Mm.
so good. And yes, I absolutely went off the diet for that one.
Yeah,
Um, they were so good, and I didn't mind paying like $18 for those because it was like Latina owned, and the venue like brought in food trucks from around the area. So I'm
that's
like, I'm
cool.
a little bit more okay with that.
Yeah, I'm hungry, so I'm probably gonna get those after this, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I mean, hey, it's good for you, right? There's protein.
Totally.
More protein? No, that sounds delicious. Yeah, no, I
I
love
know.
like you're explaining it. The grassroots
Mhm,
organizations and
mhm.
such. We have little music festivals here too that pop up
Yeah, you do.
in the summer. Usually like Tuesday, Saturday thing, but it's the same kind of similar situations where it's just like
Mm.
a bunch of food trucks and a bunch of like local musicians come together to collaborate. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm so hungry now. Pro tip to not do podcasts when you're hungry. Uh, um, let's gear this a little bit back towards the topic. Since I know myself and I could go off on tangents for hours.
Mhm.
Uh, your debut EP, "Hiding Little Pieces," which I was just listening to a little bit ago, which I was like sitting over here rocking like a maniac in my own little
Yeah.
tiny corner. Um, it digs into the themes of things we've talked about a little bit so far: empowerment, self worth, boundaries. Um, it kind of mentioned it a little bit before, but like when you're writing those songs, do you kind of feel it's a little bit more like cathartic for you, or like you're just kind of like confronting your demons head on? Like, how do you view those writing opportunities?
Um, I guess it depends on what I'm writing about.
Sure.
But definitely, like, being cathartic is definitely a big part of that. I also realized, like, because one of my songs or a couple of my songs are about a breakup, and I remember at the time, like, really wanting closure from that breakup, but
Mhm.
realizing I couldn't get it, but then realizing that I didn't need it. I don't need to, like, make things okay with that person. I can make them okay for me, and I can write my own story about or tell my truth and, like, sell it on a vinyl. And then, like, get legions of fans to hate him. No, I'm kidding. But,
That's called the Taylor Swift
yeah.
version.
No, no, no. But it is cathartic, like, writing about it and,
Sure.
working through those emotions and, yeah, totally. I think it's a healthy way to do that and not having to actually, go and mess up your life or, like, social life trying to chase something that isn't you're not gonna get anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, that's totally fair.
Mhm.
Yeah, percent, and I feel we've all have probably had very similar experiences to that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, great outlet. I love that.
I
Keeping
will
on,
also say sorry,
no,
I will also say that, whenever something really terrible happens to me, I've, like, developed this other, like, eye that's, like, looking down on my life that's like, "This is gonna be a good song." So I'm like, "Okay, yes, I'm crying about it now, but, like, in about a month, 2 months, we're gonna write a hit."
oh, I
Write that
love
down.
that.
Write that down.
Yeah, exactly.
Carry a notepad with you.
Yeah, well, actually, my whole note app on my phone is just that's something I've started doing since even my flight
Uh-huh.
attending days is when I'm, like, feeling it, especially if a passenger would yell at me, I'll just write down all my feelings in a note, and then later on, when I'm more level-headed, I'll, like, go and I can use that and pull from it for lyrics and stuff, so, yeah.
That's
Hey, Jen,
incredible.
you better tap into that with your job.
Oh,
Right, yeah, write down all your feelings now.
I'm gonna try not to break HIPAA in doing that, but
Just a little,
um,
little
just a
HIPAA
little bit,
breakage.
just a little.
Just a
Um,
little snippet.
yeah. So, keeping the theme on the songs and the music, I was gonna move into the next question if that's cool with you
Yeah.
guys.
I'm
We
deeply
were
offended,
like,
Jen.
so sorry. I'll try so hard to do better. Um, but yeah, no. Prior to the podcast, I was going through re-listening to the music and such as well. "You're Not Ready" has a '80s harder rock edge. Were there any heavier influence that you find sneaking into your sound?
Yeah, I mean, I actually got my start as a musician playing well, I went to theater school, but I also was in metal bands while learning Shakespeare during the day, I'd, like, go and, like, play the Bovine Sex Club at night and, like, be in metal bands. So, and I always gravitated towards harder music growing up. It's honestly, like, in my older age that I have, mellowed out. But yeah, like, I still like, I love, like, Deftones and, I mean, I was a big Marilyn Manson fan back in the day. I'm not sure how I feel about him now, but, um, big fan of My Chemical Romance.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, yeah, I like all kinds of, like, rock and sort of, catchy, theatrical, darker stuff. And actually that song we kind of like, you nailed it with the '80s thing, like, we actually listened to the Cars and found this, like, a synth that was similar to one they had because we really felt like it added this kind of, like, different dynamic that we didn't have before, so, yeah.
Nice. Hell yeah. Big 80s
Very
fans over
cool.
here, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
Yeah. Well,
speaking
like,
of
all the
elder
synths and
millennials,
stuff is cool. Sorry.
yes, absolutely. I grew up with Van Halen, and
Mm.
yeah, so like that was my thing. My mom introduced me to was Van Halen and a little bit of Kiss and Journey too. So yeah, that's
Yeah, nice.
resonates over here hardcore. And Sticks, that's a big one. I totally forgot. That's one of my mom's like favorite band.
Yeah, Styx is great.
Oh yeah, they're still doing pretty well too. Especially with Van Halen when they did that whole thing where they're like, "Oh, we can't have David Lee Roth. He wants too much synth." I was like, "Bro, like that's kind of like what you got to do in the '80s, man. You got to go with it. Come on. I mean, it's Diamond Dave."
Yep.
Anyways, we can talk about assless chaps all day.
You're You better
That'd
ask
be
the
the
next
thing my mom would
question.
always tell me. Like, I'll tell you what, man, if your father could have been anyone else. Oh, okay, cool. I didn't need to know that level of detail.
TMI mom.
Oh, well, not at all speaking of the next question, even slightly. What about when going back to my other kind of question, when you sit down to write, do you usually start with something specific? Are you like, I don't know if you're like one of those people that's like, I need to write the melody, I need to write the riffs, or do you just do lyrics, or does it just kind of change with each song?
Um, I would say it changes with each song because in the past, I've written more traditionally, like in past bands where they would write like the instrumentation and then I would write my melodies and lyrics over top of it. But with this project, it's been the opposite where I
Mhm.
have kind of come up with the melody line and lyrics first, and then I sing it to Siegfried or play him my little weird voice note. And then he grabs his guitar and then he sort of, we say he like fills in the cracks or like adds he sigifies it,
Nice.
and creates like the chords around what I've written, which is cool because I've always felt sort of boxed in by the traditional way because I'm always having to wait for like someone to inspire me. But this way I can just come straight from whatever it is that I'm feeling. But one of the things that's coming up that I'm really excited about is one of my new songs is called San Francisco. And I
Mhm.
wrote it while I was in San Francisco, surprise. And I wrote it because took an Uber to the Golden Gate Bridge
Mhm.
and I didn't have internet or Wi-Fi to get an Uber home because I'm Canadian and I just didn't get a SIM card. And so I'm like, I got like a 3-hour walk ahead of me. So I was like, I guess maybe I can write a song by the time I get back to my hotel.
Hmm.
So I wrote the song, and I mean, obviously it's called San Francisco, so I don't know how creative I got, but it's one of my favorite songs now, and it's on the next EP or next, I guess it'll be a full length, but yeah, it was kind of cool, like a little exercise that I gave myself to do. So yeah,
Literally and figuratively.
yeah, yeah.
3-hour
My
walk.
legs were sore.
Whew. Man, I that is a long walk. I mean, even the bridge alone, I've been there and oof.
Yeah, it's pretty,
That is
but
sure.
yeah,
But
and
yeah, and then it
we
smells like
actually
traffic.
we actually went back because we went to NAM last year, and we went
Mhm.
back. Flew into San Francisco first to film the music video for it. So
Yeah,
we actually went back to where I wrote the song the
nice.
year prior to go and do our music video. So that was kind of cool too.
Perfect. The music video was just you walking 3 hours, right? The whole video.
Just like sweating and crying.
That's perfect. That's the dream
Yeah.
right there.
Oh my god. No, it's a bit more
Fair.
creative than that, but that would have been more realistic.
3-hour stream. Tune in next time.
Oh, that is creative. So we had already touched on the topic a little bit. You're open about tackling mental health struggles and such in your lyrics. Do you ever think of those struggles as their own kind of ghosts or monsters that you're like confronting through your music?
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've seen my music video for Haunted, but that's literally the whole point of that
Mhm,
music
mhm,
video is I felt like I was getting really bad OCD right before I
mhm.
quit um my airline, and I and the anxiety and that and everything, I kind of felt like my anxieties were like
Mm,
ghosts and
mhm,
they were
mhm,
haunting
mhm.
me. So that's why the music video takes place in a haunted hotel. Also, because I mean, flight attendant, hello, on a layover, it kind of made
Perfect.
sense. But but I made it like as if those anxieties and things were like its own horror movie,
Mhm.
um, which was fun, and it was cool to get to, like, dress up as a
Hell yeah.
ghost and scare and I worked at that
Oh,
hotel too
perfect.
'cause I worked there for, like, a few months after I quit my airline, and, all the staff were, like, knocking on the door, like, "What are you doing in there?"
Don't
Like,
worry
white
about
eye
it.
contacts and, like, gray makeup, and it was fun.
Love that. Yeah, we play a little dress up, every now and then too, don't we, Jen?
Once in a while.
Once in a while. Well, speaking of horror movies, if you could rescore a horror film with your music, which song would you pick and why?
What
Mhm.
song would I pick? Well, Well, I guess the easiest cop out answer would be haunted because it
I
is
know, I kinda made that a
it
little
is
too easy.
about but you actually, you know what would be a really good, like I used to put on, oh my gosh, I can't remember the band now. Um, there's a song, I can't remember who sings it, but it goes, "Die, motherfucker, die," and I used to, like, shoot zombies to it.
Ooh.
I feel like my song, "Give It to Me," would be a good, like,
Okay,
zombie
okay,
shooter
yes.
I was
Uh-huh.
soundtrack.
vibing hard to that song earlier, and
Mhm,
I could hear it.
mhm, yeah,
Love
no,
it.
I was like, "Oh, man, I feel like ready to fucking go, let's go."
Yeah, maybe the zombies are the ones singing it, and they're
Ooh,
like, "Give it to me," because they want, like, the brains.
ooh.
That's the vibe I'm going
Let's
for.
I would you know what, that'd be a great movie, like, from the zombie POV, not like Warm Bodies where it's really
Yeah.
cutesy, but, like, full on, just
Mhm.
like, "Let me eat some brains, please."
Yeah, we never get that
No,
POV. Where
mm-mm.
we
It'd be
need
really
that.
great in America. There's
Get on
lots
it.
of no brains there, so God, I'm sorry. That was vile.
Where is the
I'm not
lie?
actually sorry.
So, we will stay on topic of the dark and the macabre. Our podcast does dive into darker corners of music and the macabre and such. Do you find yourself drawn to that kind of like nature, the macabre, gothic, shadow imagery, even outside of writing and performing?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, like, I was probably the biggest My Chemical Romance fan that you could
Hell
find. So, yeah, I was, like, doing my makeup like
Uh-huh.
Helena, and I painted my room red and put chandeliers in it and had, like, a even though I was a single bed, we made my parents made it into a four-poster for
perfect.
me and, like, made it like this, like, and I had my light switch on a dimmer, so it would look like a vampire lair.
Yes.
So absolutely, yeah. I mean, I think as I've gotten older, I'm not afraid to wear color anymore, but, I definitely still am rooted in that sort of kind of fantasy, dark vibe. I think it just makes life cooler, more interesting. I also had, like, this even in my old band, like, I earned the nickname No Pants because I would never wear pants on stage, but it was because I was like, jeans and pants are so domesticated and, it's kinda like a everyday
Yeah,
wear, right? If I'm not stepping on stage, I want it to be heightened, I want it to be something that you wouldn't wear walking down the street,
absolutely.
and so, to me, I like, for some reason, I had it out for pants, I was like, "I'm
Fuck
not wearing
pants.
that." Uh, but now I wear, like, skirts and stuff, but yeah, I've always really liked that kind of aesthetic and,
Yeah.
yeah, I dig
Yeah,
it.
no, definitely. I mean, I'm right there with you at the My Chemical Romance thing, man. Like, I tried to buy tickets to this last tour and I was a little broke.
I was gonna ask you, did you get to see any
I
at the
did
shows?
this last leg of the tour, yeah, yeah, the opener that they had
Cool.
in Seattle, that was dope as hell, like, nobody knew what
Who'd
to
they have?
expect, especially with the whole, like, dictatorship and, like,
Mhm.
kinda killing everybody on stage, all of us were like, "What the fuck?" Because like, first show, nobody knew, and we're just sitting there because like, I'm over here by the pit, and they have stage B behind us, and I'm like, what is
Uh,
happening? Did someone actually get shot? I don't know. This is America. It could happen. Like,
oh my
I mean,
god, oh
it wasn't like what
no.
Twitter was saying where they were like, "Oh my god, everybody was freaking out. It was the worst." No, it was more like, "Oh, another one? Oh god. Didn't we just have one of those?"
Oh my gosh.
No, but
No.
it was crazy.
That's sad, that's the reaction around the room. It's like, "Oh, man."
Oh, okay. Well, do we need to go? 'Cause I paid a lot of money for these tickets. I'd rather just finish the show.
Uh,
Um,
I saw them in Toronto, and it was
yeah,
awesome. I had nosebleed seats, so, just because the tickets were
they
crazy,
were
like, I
stupid.
that was the best seat I could get, it was nuts, so,
Mhm.
but I really like, I also went to theater school and did acting and stuff, so to see Gerard go full on theater, I'm like,
Yes.
"Yes,
I mean, he went
yes!"
into
I
it.
love it.
Yeah, I love that, and, like, when he got, like, killed at the end and going into the little body shape, I was like, "Oh, you have spoken to me for years, and
Yeah.
now you're just,
Also, Ray Toro, holy smokes, like, he's like a
Oh,
daddy
yeah.
now, like, look at he's
Serious daddy
I was like,
material.
"What happened?" I never used to, like, look twice at him, and the whole time I'm like,
I know.
"Ray
I'm like,
Toro,
"Gerard who?
what is happening to
Gerard
my
who?
body?"
Mikey
I know.
who?"
I have legit I've legitimately had a different at different times in my life, had a different crush on a different band
Yeah, that sounds
member.
about right.
Started with Gerard, turned into Mikey, now I'm like,
Oh,
"Hi,
hey,
Ray." Like,
we're
"Oh,
in our
I'm
daddy
so
age now,
sorry."
elder millennials. Shout out to Daddy Ray and his skills. I mean, not
Yeah.
only that, but you throw that in there, it's like, I wonder what else you can never mind. Um,
Yeah.
Ma'am.
I'm sorry. Is
Oh
this
my god. I
I
mean, you're
thought
right.
I had freedom of speech. Um, I love the theatrics though. I mean, you're totally right. As a theater kid myself, and I know Jen, you are too, I was just nerding out the whole time. Like, I kind of forgot about the
Mhm.
songs a little bit, and that's just because it was like my favorite album for the longest time, and I played it on a repeat. I have a tattoo, so I'm like,
Amazing.
I'm just sitting there just like watching the theatrics. And I was like, man, you were just living out your dream of being a theater kid, and I love that for you, Gerard. Right? So what
Mhm.
is your most you kind of touched on it earlier, about the festivals, but, like, do you have another unforgettable onstage moment? I don't know, does someone chuck their boxers at you or something? Like, who knows? Like, what's that moment for you?
I guess there was one moment I had where I just thought it was really funny. So I put my cat on my
Mhm.
merch, because I love him and he's perfect,
Everybody
and I
loves
might be a little
cats.
biased,
Everybody
but
loves
yeah, and everybody and actually he has made people buy more merch because even if they don't care about me, they're like, "Cute cat." Um, but,
Hopefully, that cat gets
my dream
royalties.
is yeah, well, we call it the family
Perfect.
business. We're like, "You gotta pull your weight, buddy, like, you gotta do something." So, he's on the shirt, and, my dream is to look out into the audience and just see, like, a sea of rupee. His name's Rupee, sea of rupees.
Yes.
But, I remember at one show, I think people were wearing a shirt, and I was like, "Let's, like, cheer for Rupee," and then, like, the whole audience was just like, "Rupee, Rupee, Rupee." I'm like, "This
Perfect.
this
That's
little Persian
amazing.
cat."
That cat
It
knew how
just made
much
me so
love
happy.
there was.
Like, they're probably drunk, they don't even realize what they're saying, but, it meant a lot to me.
That's cute. Can I segue for a minute?
Yeah.
Is it like Zelda
Yes.
rupee?
I mean, that I loved Zelda growing up, so that's was part of it, but, when I adopted him, he was a beautiful Persian cat whose name was Snoopy, and,
Aw,
because the people who got him wanted a dog, and I was like, "That's n you cannot call this beautiful Persian cat after a dog." So, I called him Rupee, and at that point, I was flying to India and stuff a
Perfect.
lot, and I was like, "You know what? What a cute little" because he's worth all the rupees in the
No,
world.
that's so
And and I have a rupee that I saved, when I went to India, and I wanna put it on a necklace, and it'll be like my little
your little rupee
thing
you
of
could
him.
carry around
aw,
everywhere. I
My little
love
rupee.
that. I
that's
love that.
so stinking sweet, I can't even take it.
I
Like, "How cute I'm trying."
know! The cute aggression.
Alright, I'm gonna stay on the topic with the live music. We know Toronto has a super diverse scene. Where do you see, like, the alt rock and heavier music headed in Canada right now?
Hmm.
Good question. I mean, I feel like it's diversifying, and um there's a lot of different different
Yeah.
bands. I remember when I was in the scene, earlier, like, there was, you're like run of the mill like rock dudes, but I feel like it's really changing and there's a lot of different like I've got like friends who are in sort of I don't know, like kind of darker macabre sort of like metal rock, and then I've got friends who are doing more of like the pop rock thing, and it's just cool like seeing people get success and collabing with each other. And I mean, I feel like Canada's got so much to
Yeah.
offer in the music scene. And I mean, it's hard for us to get across the border because the visas are expensive, and that's its whole thing. But yeah, it's I think Canada is going to take over. That's what I think.
You're welcome to have the United States. I give y'all full permission.
I mean, I would love to come back, and I mean, I have applied for some showcases
Mhm.
and stuff, in the States, so hopefully I can play over there, but, and I've done, like, open mics in, like, San Francisco and
Nice.
stuff, yeah, we want to kinda spread this as much as we can because there's so much good stuff
Oh yeah,
happening.
yeah, definitely. The music scene's fantastic. Plus, I mean, y'all had Rush over there, so I mean, that's yeah, one of our other favorite bands here in this household. Gotta
Amazing.
love some YYZ, that's for sure.
Yeah, but, I would say, like, with Sumo Cyco
Yeah,
as well, like, they're such a great, like, just
yeah,
band. Like, I hate saying female
sure.
fronted, like, they're literally just a good band. Like, there's so much have so much energy. Sky, who's the
Mhm.
singer, she's like a Canadian celebrity. I don't know if you remember Sky Sweetnam. She was, like, big over here in Canada. She opened up for Britney Spears back in the day, like, so
Okay.
every all Canadians know who she is, but she kind of instead of kinda going that same sort of Disney poppy kind of route that all everybody
Mhm.
else did, she turned and went into, like, metal and hard rock and
Yes,
I
stuff,
love that
so,
okay.
for her.
and they've been yeah, and they've been a huge inspiration for me, even, like, Sky's so helpful, like, she's been on, like, Skype calls with me, like, explaining Shopify when I was first starting out, like, she's such a nice person,
Nice.
so, but you guys should
Oh,
definitely listen to Sumo
absolutely.
Cyco, they're
Yeah, I
really, really
added that
good.
one to my list,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Yes, I'm gonna have to look into them
Yeah.
more.
Yeah,
Uh-huh, absolutely.
for
It kinda
sure.
reminds a teeny bit off topic, but, you know, like, the little girl from The Grinch, how she, like, was so adorable, and then she just
Yeah.
joined this, like, hard metal, like I'm like, "Fuck yeah."
Yeah,
Feeling
Taylor
them.
Yes,
Momsen.
Yes.
It
yes.
yeah, very similar to that,
I
yeah, for
love that. I
sure.
love that when that happens. It's something first of all, it's kind of funny to me, and then second of all, I'm just like, "Oh, fuck yeah, that's awesome,"
It's just
especially
so
when the
freeing
ladies
and
do that.
refreshing to see. I love it.
Right? Yeah, yeah, I know, you're like, "Oh, thank God you didn't go down the Taylor Swift." God, that's the second time I've had some shade to Taylor Swift.
You're
It's
gonna
nothing
get us
personal.
sued.
I'm gonna get a cease and desist from the Swifties. Um,
Oh, from both sides, you're gonna like,
mhm,
you're just
mhm.
pissing off
Oh, you know,
everybody.
if I'm not
I
pissing off
love it.
somebody, I don't think I'm doing it right. You've won competitions, right? Like the Jack Daniel's Supporting Act, and Goosapalooza's Rising Sun Award, which, that's awesome. Uh, do those
Mhm.
accolades drive you, or I kind of might already answered this question based off of what we know of you so far, or is it the energy of the crowd that really kinda keeps you going?
Honestly, I mean, a bit of
Sure.
both though. Like, obviously, I can feel if the crowd is alive, like that helps me in the
Yeah.
moment, especially when, like if we have to play an hour set and it's a summer festival and it's really hot out. I was about to say degrees, but I think we're on
You
different
can use Celsius. We're the
Fahrenheit,
smart
Celsius, so
Americans that understand Celsius.
I'm like, "They're not gonna understand me." It's like 35, 36 degrees, and you're sweating. There's been times where I've looked over at Siegfried and I'm like, "There's gotta be easier ways to make money." I'm, like, dying. But then we always close our set with "Give It to
Sure.
Me," and when that song hits, like, the crowd usually like, their energy and how they're, like,
Mhm.
reacting to it, all of a sudden, I'm like, I could go another hour, like, so absolutely crowd for
Okay.
sure.
Fair enough.
But I mean, accolades, like, I have to do a lot of this business stuff on my
Yeah.
laptop all the time. Being an artist in 2025, it is not what I thought I was signing up for. Like, I thought I was gonna be in the Motley Crue and just be partying all the time and just being a
Oh,
rock star, but it turns out I have to be a small
yeah.
business, and I have to apply for
Oh
things, and
no.
I have to do a lot of emailing.
You have to talk to people,
So
damn it.
when some I know. It's awful. So when I do get some of those accolades or things I've, like, applied for or really want, I'm like, "Oh my god, they noticed me. It paid off."
Aw.
So, yeah, so both I would say.
Perfect. Yeah. Slap a cat on it. Makes it a little easier.
Well, definitely when I was designing my merch and I was like, "Oh god, I'm so tired. What am I gonna do?" And I saw my cat sitting there, I was like, "I know how I can make this fun
The
for
internet
me."
loves cats. Let's do that.
Yes,
That's
that's what it was
honestly
invented
Yeah,
for.
genius. I
it's
love
true.
it.
It's so true. Yeah. I mean, forget emails and, school online, cat videos, obviously. That's the one thing
Yep,
that stood the test of time ever since the days of dial-up. So, I mean, everybody's got
true.
a cat video that they're like, "Man, I love that cat video."
Speaking of animals and I guess spirit animals or such, so Harley Olivia, if you had like a patron figure or a spirit animal of some sort of rock or metal,
Hmm.
who or what would you say that would be?
Mm.
I mean, the easy answer would be a cat because
Yeah,
obviously I
yeah.
love cats, it's no secret, but I'm gonna I'm gonna say a mantis shrimp.
Okay. They go hard,
Yeah.
I
alright?
love it.
They go hard.
Do you know mantis
Yeah, man, their
shrimps? Do you know
Yes.
punches,
about them?
they'll knock you out.
Like a 22 caliber bullet,
Yes.
and they're little, and they can break the tank they're in. They can literally smash their way out. It's
Yeah, they're like little
crazy.
Incredible.
tiny hulks just in your tank, and, like, you have to be a good pet owner to own those things, 'cause otherwise you're gonna need, like, bulletproof, glass for your mantis shrimp. Yeah, they
Yeah,
will fuck you up.
and
Need to
yeah, and I think it's either I think when they
Mhm.
punch, the water
Yes.
around
Yeah,
them
it
boils
does.
because they
It
punch so
does.
hard.
holy
That's
shit.
so
Like, that
metal.
is the
That's
yeah.
I
amazing.
know.
Mhm.
Go You're gonna have to go down the mantis shrimp hole
Oh,
at
yeah.
some point. It's crazy. They can also see, like, colors that we can't even
Mhm.
comprehend. Um,
I no, it's totally
I'm
true, you're not
well versed
wrong,
in the
like, they're
mantis
one of the
shrimp.
most metal creatures out there, like
Interview's over. I'm going to Google right now. No.
Yeah, I gotta go,
Um,
guys.
there's also, the pistol shrimp,
Mhm.
which shoots little water bubbles, and, it can
Yeah.
break things with the force and the heat that it creates by how
Mhm.
fast
What
it
the
shoots
hell?
the water. It literally
Did you
boils
know
too.
all
It's
this about
crazy.
shrimp,
It's
Jen? I'm
I
telling you,
knew
man.
some things about shrimp, and I like shrimp memes, but not
Shrimps is
no, this
bugs,
I
man. Speaking of chaotic stuff, such as touring, right? So comes with strange
mm,
moments, such as going off a script and talking about shrimp. Do you have any spooky or maybe surreal stories that stuck with you? Or maybe your mic was haunted or something like that. Who knows?
um No, but I am actually playing a show in Kingston coming up next
ooh.
month, and Kingston,
Hmm.
Ontario is, like, very
Hmm.
haunted. I've done, like, all their ghost walks, and there's like, on the ghost walk, you can go and see all the inns that are haunted, and
Ooh.
they tell you stories about, like, what's happened at these inns. Like, I remember one specifically, there's this one called the Rosemount, and they were like, just last week, a man ran out screaming because his face was
Perfect.
swelling, and it's like, oh, remind me not to stay there. Um, but I love Kingston. There's a penitentiary
Mhm.
there where I think like they had like the last public hangings in Canada or something. So every anytime I get to go there, I like to do something
Mhm.
spooky. And I've stayed at some of the inns and stuff. So who knows? I'm not sure where we're staying yet, but yeah, I'm excited to go back and I'll keep you
Nice.
posted if
Yeah, I was
something
gonna
Good
say
weird
deal.
Jen is
happens.
our resident paranormal expert, so like,
This is
yeah,
Ooh,
she
true.
love
does like all of
it.
the little what I don't know. I just watch the YouTube videos. You can talk about it more than me, like the rods and shit that you got because you're like
Yeah,
basically
so
a witch, I guess.
I own dowsing rods, and I do a lot of
There it
paranormal
is. That's the word.
investigation locally. So I've been to,
Mhm.
like,
Cool.
Central Terminal.
I I did a paranormal investigation, actually in
Mhm.
America. Like, it was through the company called Haunted Hamilton, but we actually drove it must have been, like, in somewhere in New York or
Mhm.
something, because it was just across the border, but, yeah, we went to, like, an asylum, and they were basically like, "Go have
Rolling
fun.
Hills.
We've got tools."
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah! And they were like, "Go have fun. We've got tools, so if you wanna, like we're gonna do our investigations. If you wanna hang around, you can." And, yeah, I feel like we got some activity in there. It was
Bring
really
your
cool.
spirit box. Love
Yeah.
that.
Rolling Hills is a little bit wild. Buffalo Central Terminal's really pretty and always active. Great acoustics in there too.
Okay.
So they do open it to the public sometimes if you ever want to go in there. It like transports you
Yeah.
back to the 20s. It's peak like Art Deco,
That's so
so
cool.
beautiful. And then like I said, if you just go in there and stand in there and like whether you're singing, whether you bring instruments or something, because which I've done, like the sound is just beautiful and haunting. The
And where is that again?
Yeah,
I'm
down
writing this
here in
down.
Buffalo, so it's, like, more South Buffalo.
Okay.
Um,
I'm like, "I gotta go there.
yeah,
That
yeah,
sounds cool."
you have to reach out to their committee to schedule appointments to get there.
Mm.
But like I said, it's open to everybody. If with enough time, they'll give you the permits, they'll open it up, etc.
Hell yeah.
Wow, that's so
Yeah,
cool.
it's super dope. But yeah, no, we have a lot of those locations too in Kingston. I haven't done any of the ghost stores yet, but it's such a beautiful little town. I was just gonna point that out.
It is. It's
Been up there.
gorgeous. So, like, we went just as, like, a
Mhm.
weekend away or whatever, and then it was sort of finding out once you're there, you're like, "Oh, this place is haunted as shit." But that comes with all the cool old buildings,
100%.
so it's like it's cool.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
true. Yeah,
Oh,
y'all got a lot of cool buildings off that direction. We just got like old farmhouses that are falling apart. You're probably gonna get tetanus if you go there.
you
Oh,
you guys,
we
yeah,
have that too. We have that too. Actually, I filmed, there's a falling down farmhouse near me that I filmed, like, 2 music videos
yeah.
there.
That's a great
I'm
band
like,
name
"Please
too.
don't fall
Write that
down."
down. Falling Down Farmhouse.
Ooh,
Ooh, I like that. Did we just
Oh
start
my
a
god.
band?
I think we just
do it,
did. That's
do it.
crazy.
We have a
I'll
kazoo
bring my
player.
kazoo. Yep.
Yeah,
My son will bring his ukulele. We've we've got this.
perfect.
It's gonna be like some Weird Al shit.
Just parody other bands' songs. I love it. No, I'm kidding.
Yes.
Love it.
Perfect. Perfect. We'll cover
Um,
them poorly.
yeah, so staying on the topic, I guess, of abandoned Gothic mansions and haunted
Mhm, mhm.
houses and all that fun stuff.
The cool
We
shit.
always like picking fun closers. So
Yes.
as our signature closer, if you could take only 3 albums with you to any haunted Gothic mansion or
Ooh.
abandoned building that you're going to be trapped in, even overnight, which ones are you choosing?
Mm.
Hmm.
Um, I would probably well, I would pick a My Chemical Romance record. I'd probably go with 3 Cheers for
Mhm,
Sweet
mhm,
Revenge because
mhm,
that's my
mhm.
favorite. And got the Helena thing, which is, like, gothic-y. I'd probably pick Neck of the Woods by Silversun
Ooh.
Pickups.
Mhm.
Um, just has a lot of, like, cool feelings and synthy, and it's just awesome. That I love that record. And then I'd probably choose, like, the Phantom of the Opera soundtrack and just annoy all the ghosts by trying to sing Christine Daaé's parts.
We're gonna come back from the dead and be like, "You've gotta stop."
Yeah. Honestly, I've had neighbors who are like, "Girl, it's 3 a.m. Like, I get it. You just watched it and you're feeling inspired, but, like, now is not the time."
Incredible. Incredible. I love it.
But when that inspiration hits, you gotta
You
just
do. That
go for
It's
it.
true. You gotta
that
belt them out, like, that's the only way to sing Phantom of the Opera. 100%.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, I went to go see Phantom, it was one of the last things I did as a flight attendant because it was, I know it closed on
Yeah,
Broadway, but it was still going on in
yeah.
London, and I was like, "Oh, well, I won't get this chance again, so I better go." And the whole way home, I was literally walking the streets of London, like, singing
I think they
out
expect
loud,
that.
like, making sure no one could hear me
Yeah.
or see me, but I was just
Girl, just let
belting
No,
me
it,
that
hear.
I did the
so
Yeah.
exact same thing when I was there. I too went to go see it in London, and it was I was,
yay!
like, singing it the whole way out, and that was I was with my parents at the time, and they were like, what have we done?"
Yeah.
Ex
Poorly poorly
exposed
getting those notes.
exposed you to great theater. That's what they're
Oh,
good
it's
for.
true. They
That's
were
their crime.
very yeah, no, they were very understanding, but, they did buy a lot of, like, earplugs. I don't know if I should be offended or
Well, I think it doesn't matter how good you are, like, that's an aggressive choice to be singing all the time or at 3 AM. So, like, even if it sounds good, it's like, "Can you stop?"
I need a break, okay? I get it, the Phantom of
Yeah.
the Opera's there. We all understand, we get that.
Yeah, I'm also a huge Lady Gaga
Mhm.
fan, and I splurged and I took myself to go see Lady Gaga a couple
Yes.
weeks ago.
Hell yeah.
And she has a part where she's going down, like, the runway of her stage, and she's
Right,
in a little
yeah.
boat, and it's got the
Yes!
dry ice, and it's very Phantom, and I was like,
She
"Oh,
knows what
17-year-old me is
tickles
loving
the
this."
brain. She understands her audience very well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
does.
that's
Yeah.
I
incredible. I'm
I need
legit,
to
like,
go to one
upset
of
I
her shows.
couldn't get to Toronto to make it up to Mayhem Ball, because of work, but,
Mhm.
Mm.
like, the pictures looked incredible. So it was over at Scotiabank up there, and I was like
Yeah, that's where I
I
was.
was I was having FOMO, like, big time.
Oh,
But I'm so
no!
happy you
Well,
guys got to
I could
experience it.
see I could see it going on for longer or, like, doing
Oh,
extra
yeah.
dates 'cause, I can't remember who quoted this, but they were saying that she deserves a Tony for creating a musical
Yeah.
because there is, like, a
Yeah.
storyline and
Oh,
stuff.
that's
It's
pretty cool.
not just a
Mhm.
concert. It's very similar to My Chemical
It is.
Romance, actually, like, how they're incorporating the theater and stuff, so, yeah,
I
I loved it. I'm
Mhm.
love it.
Yeah,
so
That's
I've
pretty
heard
cool.
people that are like, "I'm not even a big Lady Gaga fan, but the theatrics of it are just that good," to, like,
Me
go and check it out. Like, it's any hoot. Well, my dear Harley, thank you very much for stepping into the spooky shadows with us today, shooting the shit, BSing on every topic we could possibly think of. We can't wait to see what's next. That is for damn sure, especially with maybe a new EP coming out, possibly just, just put together the whole album. Let us know beforehand and, put us on there as like your BFFs. To our
Yeah, for
listeners,
sure.
make sure that you check out Harley's debut EP, Hiding Little Pieces, and her new single, Give It to Me. We will
So
have
good.
all of those links in the description below and or around the area that you might be listening to right now on whatever platform you are on. Streaming everywhere. Go check it out. It takes just a quick Google search to listen to some cool ass shit that you will not regret. That is for damn sure. So again, we thank you so much for being here. And with that, I say adieu.
Yeah, it was great meeting you.
Thank you so much.